Welcome back to Becoming a Mentor. This is your host, Gert Lisha. Today, we have a very special guest, somebody maybe 3 weeks ago I never was thinking of having on in such a short time span, but obviously the world is a crazy place, and if you have not heard of the name Jordan Lucas, you're probably sleeping under a rock. I have people that are non-volleyball friend group that continuously are talking to me about the phenom of Jordan Lucas. So I am extremely blessed to have the ability to talk to Jordan today. Jordan, thank you so much for coming, bro. I really appreciate you and giving us your time today.
Thank you so much for having me, Gert.
Absolutely. So I think the main conversation and the main direction that we're going to start with is the youth, and maybe going back to a young Jordan Lucas. I think when we see you on the court, and I was just talking to you about this a little off camera, to me, not knowing you comes off as a super aggressive, abrasive type of individual that is going to talk shit in your face and doesn't really care about what you got to say about him. That's not the vibe I get when I'm just talking to you right now, right? So for me, I think about when you were a young kid just coming into volleyball immediately, was that inherent in you to have that different persona when you stepped on the volleyball court, or was that something that you built throughout the years for whatever reason?
I would say in the beginning, it was probably a little bit more reserved in ways, and then kind of as my talent in volleyball progressed, so did the theatrics and the animation and kind of all of those celebrations that people see and love. So that's kind of where it kind of came in. At a young age, really probably more reserved, and now a lot more animated.
Why do you think you came in inherently reserved and then broke into yourself, or do you think that you changed? How did that develop?
I think it was just more getting confidence in myself and in the skill of volleyball, and kind of having fun with it. Like, these celebrations to me are just fun, and kind of if it allows me to kind of have that self-expression in a way. So that's kind of the self-expression on the court.
That, I think, when obviously like the quote unquote antics have been a very big talking point in your play. And I think when I looked at you play, I could always relate in a weird way. Not necessarily that I feel like we expressed the same way when we played, but I am a very expressive player, if anyone has ever watched or known of me before. And for me, I've tried before to play without expression. And I legit played like shit. Sorry, let's cut that. But so bad, like I couldn't do it. I genuinely tried. I had conversations with my coaches, like this, that. Didn't work for me. Do you feel like at a certain point, the way that you express yourself is tied in to who you are as a player now?
Yeah, totally. I feel like that it's like kind of enhanced my playing capabilities, and has kind of allowed that sense of freedom in a way kind of exude out of me.
It's very interesting. When you've been through kind of the, not gauntlet, but like you go through the youth volleyball space to the high school to college, right? I had a lot of conversation with coaches to tame down my expressive-ness, right? Too emotional. You're letting the game sway, good, bad, you're flowing, your teammates don't know what they're gonna get out of you, blah, 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 all the talking points, right? When did those conversations start for you? And to add on to it, when did it become like, man, at the end of the day, I don't really care about what you're talking about. My name's Jordan Lucas, I'm gonna be here and play like this every single day. You like me, I like you. You don't, kick rocks. When did that energy come through?
I would say that I didn't really notice that I was really doing much doing much of the celebration aspect was until like I was like 16 or 17, like once the like recruiting process started and colleges reached out like, hey, we really love your talent and we really see your skill, but you might have to tone down what you do outside or off the court, or vice versa on the court when you get a kill or when you get a great dig or something like that. And for me, I was just like, okay, like why? Like, it just, to me, like, at youth volleyball matches, at club tournaments and stuff, you see people just crowd courts and matches, and it's not really because of the volleyball. It's because of what the players are bringing outside of the skill and the talent. Everyone who's at these either big level colleges or top level club programs can all play volleyball. It's what else do you bring to the table? And I always tell people that I play volleyball to entertain others.
Very interesting point of view. I don't think everyone has that same mentality. I think it's really clear. Like, even we look at the past 2 weeks for you. Direct question, how many Instagram followers have you gone up in the past 2 weeks?
About 200,000 or so.
Mind you, when I was playing men's college volleyball, we had, I think, 34 D1 plus D2 men's programs. Now we're looking at 70 something. And there has been multiple viral sensations like Moni Nikolov. Now we're coming and you have taken the torch, brother, in a real way, and in a way that makes me so happy to see men's volleyball going in that direction. Why do you think we've been so maybe like averse, and the refs have become more tight with calling yellows, warnings?
Yeah.
What is it about the volleyball community that's trying to stray away from this? Because clearly when we have expressive athletes, we bring a lot of eyes to the sport. So to me, 1 + 1 = 2. I don't get it, right? Like, what are we looking for? What is the issue? What do you think is the goal?
Yeah, I feel like in that aspect, a lot of refs trying to control matches and there's some refs that aren't, that they love players and kind of their theatrics with it all, but some really, I feel like, are power hungry and want to assert their dominance over the match or the team or whoever it is. And I don't understand that concept, because you look at the NBA, the NFL, MLB, that the reason why their viewership is so huge and so broad is because you have certain players within those sports that have all the theatrics or all the the antics or whatever the word may be. That are people drawn to it. Like what I said earlier, like, people have talent. There's talent all over the place, but it's who has that extra kind of flair to themselves that can not only market themselves to programs, but can also bring fans and viewership and obviously money into.
I mean, this is the NIL era, right? And like, before, maybe marketing yourself was good but not crucial, and I think it is now shifted to being absolutely crucial and a part of the package of who you are as an athlete and what you bring to the table, not just in the stat sheet. What is your relationship with the referees? That's something I've thought about a lot, and I honestly can't get a good gauge because majority of the clips are just clips. So like, I don't get like a totality of like a full season where, for me, right, I always made it a point to go say hi to every single ref, like try to build a relationship with them so that when I did tweak out in the game, they were a little more lenient with me. You know what I mean? Yes. So like, that was my game plan forever. What is your relationship with what's your relationship like with the referees, and how is that kind of like mixed in with this type of conversation? I
would say over my club career that a lot of these referees who coach, or not coach, a lot of these referees who ref college matches also ref or head refs of the club tournaments.
Yeah.
So I've known the majority of them for a long time, for the last probably 6 to 7 years, and I'm good friends with a lot of them, and a lot of them still ref our matches like at CSUN, at UC Irvine, at UCLA, and maybe after the match, they're like, hey, Jordan, like, you're just so fun to watch, or hey, like, we loved, being able to ref you, or like, so I've never really had anything like super negative from like a referee, and I still to this day have never been yellow carded or red carded, although in Hawaii.
Same here, bro.
But although in Hawaii, their head coach tried to get me a red card in that match, so kind of interesting.
I mean, maybe it's a dumb question, but like, why do you think, like, it's so weird, right? Like, I just listening to you, the refs have a good relationship with you. People on the court, it seems like you have an incredible relationship with your teammates. Yeah. I've never heard of a men's volleyball player coming out speaking negatively of you. and I'll say I know a good amount of people, bro.
Yeah.
What the hell happened in this situation to lead to this type of reaction? To me, the most upsetting thing was seeing how people commented about it, in good and bad.
Yeah.
What happened to you? Like, how do you process what the hell we're even talking about in this situation of the ref? You obviously like referring specifically to the UCI CSUN game,
Yeah.
where Jordan was just doing his thing, and obviously a broadcaster felt a certain way about it. Whatever.
Yeah.
What is that?
I think it's just maybe, I don't want to say uncertainty with the broadcaster or whoever, but maybe just like not as open to other people or open to, change or things that are different or new. I think that's kind of what we're seeing right now in the world, that there is a lot of people who are open, but there are also some people who are very, very set in their ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Like being, because I feel like in a way, and when I was looking at the situation unfold, for me, it was like, these are conversations that we need to have as a volleyball community, as a society, but it's all on your back in a weird way. Like, it's like people are like using your name to like then like go, and it's like, I don't even know how that feels like energy wise for you. Cause like you're a human being at the end of the day, like you gotta feel it at some point.
Yeah, I think
like,
it's kind of interesting, like over the last course of 2 weeks, like I've had numerous college coaches reach out to me like, hey, we obviously heard what had happened. Like, Jordan, we support you, yada, yada, yada. Jordan, you've changed men's volleyball forever, and you've changed volleyball forever. And, really, really things that I don't think I've really took and understand yet, of like kind of the magnitude of the entire situation and kind of all the publicity and like kind of that in a way that I'm at the forefront for men's volleyball and kind of hopefully breaking through into like mainstream media for men's volleyball, because it's not as mainstream as others.
So something that's interesting, you talk about people being open to new forms of expression, let's say, right?
Yeah.
I'll say this, bro. Never in my life have I seen someone express themselves like you. It's genuinely the most authentic thing that I've ever seen in terms of expression. How do you develop that? What the hell are you looking at? You know what I mean? Like, what is it that how does that spark? Like, is there inspiration somewhere? Is it like, I just want to say F everybody? Or what's the feeling? How does that build? Right?
Yeah, I think it stems from like just kind of my youth, like obviously knowing at a younger age, being part of the LGBTQ community, and then growing up within sports, and obviously everyone deals with, bullies and all of that stuff, but then like kind of finding something that one allows me to have some fun, but also like I'm like, oh, I can like be good at this and like kind of assert dominance in a way, or kind of show that I can play at a high level. And everyone talks trash, but I talk trash in a different way. Yeah. And I love it. I've been doing this since I've been 14. I just think it's so fun, and it attracts people, and it's kind of just like enjoyment for me on the court. And I pull a lot of inspiration, honestly, from like Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race. A lot of like my like celebrations and things that I do is from that.
and what's funny is that it's nothing in the athletic space, right? And like you have like thrown in this like new wave, new energy. I think that's what draws people to it, is the authenticity of it, in a good or bad way.
Yeah.
Right? You're very polarizing. Why? Like we're talking about, people have never seen it before, right? So they feel very strong, either love or hate.
Yeah, for sure.
In a weird way, both these feelings move men's volleyball in a really good direction.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And like I was saying, you're the one that kind of like bears the brunt of it. Have you felt the negativity, or has that kind of been like, you almost seem so sure in yourself right now, as I'm talking to you, it kind of like, you're not even like thinking about it.
No, not really. I mean, I feel like, I don't know, I've been posting videos for the last 4 years of my collegiate career, and like, I just get like, I mean, to me, like hate's like, okay. Like I think of hate as like, honestly, any publicity is good publicity.
For sure.
So it's like, if you're gonna take the time to comment or post or do whatever on like my page or other people's pages about me, it's like, okay, I can't really help you. So yeah, I just like.
I love that, man. And I think you touched on kind of knowing from a young age that you were part of the LGBTQ community, and on top of that, you were going into the athletic space.
Yeah.
Specifics, what age were you when you were sure that you were in that community?
Like probably coming to terms with it and like being probably when I was 15 or 16 is probably when I like fully came to terms with it and was like accepting and kind of really trying to find myself.
What were the struggles in that? I've always been fascinated by hearing the mental side of that process of a prominent athlete.
For me in the volleyball space, it was completely different. I feel like I always had like maybe like two lives in a way. Like I had my volleyball life, which like was kind of the life that I live now as one, and then I had like my at-home friends outside of volleyball life, which was a lot more just like toned down and kind of just like regular and normal. I don't know, just volleyball gave me that sense of kind of like, oh, like this is kind of, I don't know, just like more sense of freedom in a way. That's like the best way to describe it. Like
I love that, bro. Like did you have, was there difficulty in the athletic space that you found coming out was challenging, or kind of being yourself was challenging at times? Like, or again, did it come so naturally that you never had those obstacles? Like, how would you?
Yeah, I would say that it came pretty naturally. I have a good amount of friends that are in the volleyball community and also part of the LGBTQ community, which I feel like volleyball is probably the most prominent sport for it.
100%.
And so I feel like their support and love, like, and a lot of them are like 3-4 years older than I am, so they kind of have some like seniority-ish on me, or just a little bit more wiser, more mature. And so like having their support and their like, I don't want to say protection, but like that kind of like mother-ish figure, father-ish figure in a way, like kind of just really allowed me to like do whatever I wanted and like allowed me just to be like have fun and kind of do me and not really worry about other people's perspectives, because it's like if I'm putting on like from a volleyball perspective or from a volleyball way and like also I can be who I want, like people are just going to respect you regardless.
That is so fascinating, bro. Wow. A few reasons why I find that really fascinating. One is that I've had a good amount of teammates that have been a part of the LGBTQ community throughout my whole career, starting in high school, college, and a little bit of international. They have not had an easy time in a lot of ways. So one, it makes me really happy to hear that you had a positive experience and like didn't have to go through trauma in a deep way in the athletic space, if I'm speaking correctly.
Yeah, mostly.
What do you think the challenges inherently are for an athlete coming out in the athletic space, or whatever you want to say? I mean, we've looked at like pro athletes that have come out in the past 10 years, and they tend to be like pretty older in their career, like super experienced. We have not been accustomed to people coming out early and maybe living out their whole athletic space as a LGBTQ athlete.
Yeah.
What do you think are the inherent issues, struggles that maybe you've heard from your friends, like maybe like micro things that you've experienced? What are the challenges and maybe advice that you have for somebody that is looking at this interview right now and struggling to express themselves in the way that they feel is them?
I think it stems from a confidence issue, or maybe just like lack of their confidence. And I've been telling people this, that you have to be your number one supporter. I mean, if no one else in the world supports you, that you need to know deep down that you will believe in yourself in anything you do. That's volleyball, that's life, that's whatever you put your mind to, that you have to understand that you are the only person that has your own back.
Damn. Dude, you're very impressive, bro. Like, you're very mature, dude. And not in a bad way, but I didn't expect this, for sure. Like I said, this is the first time I'm talking to Jordan. But just like, the confidence that you have is kind of mind blowing. Even like talking through like difficulties to you, it almost like just like it's like falling off you. Like it's just like come here, like fall off. Like what is that? Like I'm like,
yeah. I really do believe that, you know, it is what it is, and you know when that happens, it happens, and you just I don't want to say I don't have sympathy for people who are played the victim card, but I just like life's hard for everybody, and you have to get through it, and that's what shows who you really are.
I love that, bro. That's incredible.
There's a quote from RuPaul herself, and,
Okay.
and it's something that it came across a couple months ago, and it's like, when the whole world is falling around you, and you keep going, that's the true testament of a star. And so that's something that I've, especially these last 2 or 3 months, and here at Cal State Northwest, just playing volleyball, and this maybe being my last season playing volleyball, I've just really thought about that. And, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. I think what's so interesting when we have these conversations, they may come off as complex, and we're trying to like break down these hard-hitting issues or different struggles that people go through, and to just hear you simplify it to a confidence thing is so fascinating. Because as you're talking about it, I relate to myself as a 15-year-old kid that was a first-generation immigrant and didn't necessarily feel connected to the community around me. And volleyball was my space, like my therapy, my way to build confidence, my way to decompress, like when I'm mad, sad, happy. And like hearing that you had a similar experience in terms of how volleyball gave you the confidence, different setup, right? Different topics that we're talking about, but it all leads to the same thing. That's what makes me so passionate about this stuff, because you walk around, like when I was playing club volleyball compared to now, like we were talking a little bit before, and it's like the amount of kids that are playing is mind blowing.
For sure, for sure.
And to see that it is continuing to grow our sport, and to see that there's going to be so many people that have access to the feeling that we're talking about when it comes to the confidence piece, literally gives me goosebumps, bro. Like, it is such a cool feeling, and really, really awesome to hear that you have come to that realization at, how old are you, 21?
22.
22? Damn. Nuts. I did not have this at 22, so I'm 30. I mean, unk status now, but like we're getting there,
yeah,
baby.
For sure.
You talked a little bit about your volleyball career potentially being the last year. I want to take a little bit back. Again, another area that we can connect is transferring. I started my career at Lewis University and transferred to USC. For sure, an incredible experience, but I would say that the transfer portal back then was terrible. Like the experience I had going through it, not fun. What was your experience like transferring from Grand Canyon? Obviously, you guys went there. I believe you were a backup libero at your time there.
My freshman year, I was a starting libero. My sophomore year, I was our like OH3,
Gotcha.
OH4
Okay.
role. Yeah.
Fair. So, and you guys were your freshman year, I believe, like top 7.
Yeah, we made it to the Elite 8.
Right, and then top 5 into
Final
the next
4.
year.
Yeah.
Bingo, right? So that was an incredible situation, similar to me. My first 2 years at Lewis, I was a redshirt, obviously my first year, but went to the Final 6, and then my sophomore year we went to the finals. We lost. What was that whole experience like in terms of you deciding to leave? What was the final straw for you? What were you looking for in CSUN? And have you found it?
Yeah, I enjoyed my time in Phoenix. I still talk to a lot of those guys that were my teammates there. That was the one piece that I really did enjoy at GCU was the team. I loved Nick Slight and I loved Jonah and Jack, and those guys are a big reason why I ended up going to GCU.
Yeah.
And then just a lot like throughout those 2 years with administration and with not really more so coaches, but just kind of like how they operate. And Nick was leaving, and a lot of the people who I really cared about were leaving because they graduated. And so, I was like, oh, okay, like, I don't really see much here for me. And I did not like Phoenix, Arizona. Like, itself, like
outside of the volleyball
stuff?
stuff?
Yeah, outside of volleyball, like just Phoenix, the city itself, just not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then, just kind of led to me being, okay, well, I obviously don't like being here. None of my friends are here anymore.
Yeah.
So why would I stay here?
Yeah.
And then I decided to transfer. And then while I was in that time period, I was like I wouldn't say a bad space in volleyball, but just like somewhere like I just didn't enjoy the sport. Like my entire sophomore year, like I just wasn't having fun. Like it just wasn't fun for me. Mm-hmm. And so I ended up transferring / being done with volleyball, quitting. And I got offered to play in the Philippines for their senior national team. Mm-hmm. So I was in the Philippines for about a month and a half to 2 months. And then I came back to the States in around middle of September of 2024. And I was content being done with volleyball. And it took me a really long time to kind of, I would say from the time in May or April, whenever that happened, to me leaving GCU to September, October, it was probably like, wow, that's probably done. Like I'm probably done with volleyball. And even when I was in the Philippines, I wasn't fully present. I just did it because I was like, this really cool experience. It's really something new that I'd never thought I'd be able to do in my life. And so once I came back to the States, I was just like, okay, well, I'm going to go back to school and, enjoy life. And one of our assistant coaches at the time here at Northridge, Taylor Cook, reached out to me. I've been friends with for many years. It's like, hey, Jordan, what are you doing now? And I was like, oh, I'm just traveling, having fun, hanging out with friends, doing school. Well, would you like to come to play at Northridge? And I was like, yeah, sure, I need to finish out my degree. And then so spring of 2025, I transferred here right before the season started. Told the coaches I wanted to redshirt just because I don't want to step into a program and disrupt what you guys had going on. And I still need to find my love for volleyball again and kind of, get back into, I guess, quote unquote, Division I shape or whatever people call it.
Playing shape.
Yeah, playing shape, yeah. And so then, I took those 3 or 4 months this past 2025 season as a break or a redshirt year, and then came back the fall of 2025, and I'm really happy I did. What
is volleyball for you? I ask all my athletes this. I think it's a really important question to know because it can be a million different things. Like I tell my kids all the time, it's like, dude, you can do this to want to work out.
Yeah.
That's okay. Just come in and work out. If you want to get in shape, you just gotta work out, you know what I mean? Or it could be as extreme as someone like me who's dying to get better and has this crazy obsession over the sport. Where do you lie in those two kind of extreme spectrums? And how has that been with your decision of playing next year even or playing right now?
I would say that it kind of stems from when I quit basketball. I come from a big basketball family.
Cool.
And when I told my parents I don't want to play basketball anymore, my parents were like, well, you need to play a sport. You're not just not going to do anything.
Yeah.
And so I took on volleyball, and that's kind of where the love came from. And I was like, oh, actually good at this. When you're good at things, you want to pursue it even further.
For sure.
And so then, that led to having success in club, having success in high school, and now having success in college, and kind of taking that break halfway through my junior year, I feel was much needed because it gave me a sense of reality in a way. Because being in volleyball for 7 years straight, it was kind of, that's all I knew. That's all my world was. And then taking that kind of gap semester, those 4 to 5 months of kind of just, being like, oh, this is what life is outside of volleyball. And I was like, wow, it's actually pretty nice. And then coming back into volleyball kind of was like, okay, this is cool, but regular life is better. So on the spectrum, I'm probably maybe in the middle or more towards the I enjoy volleyball and I do it to entertain people, but it's not something that we're oh, I'm dying to be in it.
Yeah.
Or I'm dying to get on the court. I'm dying to, play every single day. Because to me, and I've told people this, and I just had a speech on it, that at some time in your life, your sport, volleyball, basketball, whatever, will end. And I don't think people, especially in our sport, understand that volleyball is not going to happen for another 10, 15 years. You have maybe 10 to 12 years max total if you start at 12 years old or 11 years old.
Even if you do.
Yeah, like.
Even if you're Matt Anderson.
Yeah.
You still stop playing.
Yeah.
Like I have this conversation all the time. It's like, take the most extreme version. Michael Jordan.
Exactly.
Is still not an athlete today. Like, that will end. Guaranteed. Mm-hmm. And it's like, who are you after? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who are you? Have you found out where your passion, desires in a real way lie? Or do you kind of just want to be like a 22-year-old and like experience a bunch of stuff and see like what's going to draw you?
Yeah, I think right now, especially the current situation I'm in, like trying to just wade through the waters of everything, dealing with just overwhelming support, but also just like the social media, the media around me right now and everything. And before all of this over the last 2 weeks, I was like planning on just, pursuing my teaching career and going that route and like starting my actual career. And I enjoy traveling. I try to travel like almost anytime I have free time.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's like kind of what I was planning on, but now it's a little bit of a detour.
Yeah.
So,
when you think about your role in the social media space, do you feel a responsibility to be a role model for LGBTQ plus athletes, or do you just want to live life and kind of flow in and out of maybe like these types of situations, then maybe not it be your thing, but like you could, right? Like, have you like thought about how it lands for you?
Not so much. A lot of these videos that either I post or that people have posted of me, like, it's just me playing volleyball. Like, that to me, like, that's just me playing volleyball. And like, if people take it as a sign of representation or a sign of, hope or whatever case they may think of, I think that's so cool, but then it's also like that wasn't really like what I was going after. I was just posting it for fun, like because I like think it's fun. Just like obviously the content in the volleyball clip is great, but I just like adding the music and like making sure that like it's funny and like like that's like where I get my enjoyment from. So there's not really a message behind a lot of the stuff. It's more just like, oh, this is funny, or oh, this is witty. Like, okay, yeah, post that, or like, oh yeah, this sound goes perfect with this clip. Like that's kind of like where it goes.
But you do understand, like,
yeah, no,
like that.
I totally understand.
Regardless how you feel, like,
I totally understand the magnitude of it all and kind of the weight that I'm carrying now with it. And I think it's super cool because I feel like previous to me, before previous LGBTQ athletes, like there were a few at USC, like Sam Lewis. There's been a few at UCLA.
My teammate,
Sam,
bro.
There's been a few kind of around the country, and I feel like a lot of them were never as open or really cared as much about the community, the LGBTQ community within men's volleyball, and really had like a platform or a voice to kind of really express it. And so, if I'm that person, I'm gladly happy to do it because I feel like volleyball's given me so much in terms of friends and the ability to go to college, and that like there's just so many things that it's given me. So it's like, if I can be that little kind of, okay, thank you, here you go too, like a little reciprocation.
Like, as again, continue the conversation and we're talking about the magnitude, messaging, I just find it hilarious that you don't have a message, bro. Like, you're just like living life, dude. It's like, and you're just like, bro, like, I just like how I look in this, for instance, right?
Yeah.
Like, rather than like having this like deep message and like, it's just very interesting that you have that point of view, but it feels like the world did it. You know what I mean? Like, it was a very different reaction. Do you think that's positive? Like, did you, like, you step back, look at how everyone kind of like, because you didn't say anything almost like for a while, and everyone else like talked. How, like, how did you view the macro, like as you were watching everything unfold? Like, what was your like initial gut feeling?
It was kind of like, oh wow, this could really turn into something. One of my good friends, so the incident happened on Thursday at UC Irvine.
Yeah.
And then the video that our videographer put out was on Sunday. And she's like, hey Jordan, do you think this is great? I'm like, yeah, sure, post it. And in my head, I was like, okay, the video's good, the content's good, maybe a couple million views just because of what it looks like. And then she posted it, and I remember the following morning, it was like at 4 or 5 million views within like 12 to 14 hours. And I remember I was just like, okay. And then my friend, one of my good friends was like driving me to Northridge actually, and was like, Jordan, this could be a really big thing right now.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, like there's no way that this could be a big thing. Like this is like, no. And then it really just like kind of took off. And I was just like, okay, like, you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, and I'll ride the wave with it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And when you even look back at that specific moment on Thursday when you were playing, I'm sure you heard the comments like later, or when like the first time you heard the broadcast was.
Was after the match in our bus coming back up to Northridge. My teammates were like, Jordan, did you hear what happened? I'm like, no, what the hell happened? And they're like, oh, our friends and family just sent this video to me. So I was like watching it on the bus, and I was like, oh, what the fuck?
What was your reaction?
But probably initial reaction, I was kind of just like, hold on, what? I like had to rewind it. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I like watched it again, and I was just like, oh wow, like I can't believe someone would say this on like national television or whatever.
Yeah, like
whatever
sure.
it is. And then kind of hearing it again, I was like a little bit like distraught in a way, because I was like, I mean, especially like UC Irvine, like they're a very talented volleyball team, but they talk a lot of trash as well.
For sure, yeah.
And so it's like, you know, wondering why, you know, someone would, you know, single me out in a way. Obviously, people have speculation around that, but not call, you know, the home team out for it. It's a little interesting.
Yeah, I think a lot of it stems from, like you said, just like the uncomfortability of someone going against the grain.
Yeah.
And like just not knowing how to express themselves. Back to expression, baby. What are we talking about? We're trying to get athletes to express themselves at a young age. Why? Because it will change your life, man. And the same thing is just having an inability to express themselves properly in any situation. It's kind of funny how it like connects in that way. For me, man, it's so cool as I'm talking to you. I've said it before, like, but to hear how mature and how lax you are about just life, man. Like, coming from someone that's super, like, always, like, wound up and trying to, like, get the next thing and trying to, like, build this and do that. And it's like, and everything has to have a meaning. And, like, there's, like, all this, like, I'm just, like, listening to you, I'm like, damn, bro. I wish I could just, like, just vibe out sometimes. Like, it's really cool to see. And I think even though you maybe don't want to lean into that role model space of being, and I'm not saying you don't, but like maybe that's not like the main priority. I think simply the way that you operate in this, like, maybe like love for life is like a good way of like expressing it. I think is the message. Like, the way that you operate is so unique. Like, I've never heard anybody express how they play volleyball like you did right now. Like, no one to me has, it's always like, oh, I want to like show everybody how good I am or this. It's like, you're just like, yeah, I just enjoy it, bro. Like, I just like playing. That's what makes our sport really unique, is we have that energy, but I think you've exemplified it in the real way and on the big stage, which is really cool to see, bro. It makes me feel really good about the next generation. Because we're like, crazy enough, we're like 9 years apart, 8 years apart. It's nuts, bro. For me, I'm like, God damn, I'm getting old. Terrible. So, one of my closing questions, which I'm assuming is, I'm kind of like getting the vibe of the answer, but what do you see as the broader kind of conversation and maybe the broader theme of what you're trying to do and how you're trying to affect people that are now looking at you. We were talking about that video. It was like 35 million views or something crazy. I don't even know. Like 250,000, all numbers are nuts, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you got all these eyeballs now. And it's like, when you look at it, what is the broader message for you gonna be? And it could be as simple as, I'm just gonna be Jordan Lucas. But yeah, how do you conceptualize that and like think about that?
To be honest, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just I'm just doing me. Like it really is. Like, I mean, I feel like I've been doing me forever, especially in the volleyball space. In the volleyball space, I feel like I've just been doing me since I started.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, and I say people either love it or hate it. The people who love it really love it, and the people who hate it really hate it.
Yeah.
But for me, like, you know, both of those people, it's like, okay, well, you're still watching me, so I must be doing something to keep you entertained.
Yeah.
And so that goes back to what I said. I enjoy playing volleyball because I do it to entertain people, because that's what sports, in my opinion, is usually about, entertaining.
100%. Quick question that I didn't ask when we were talking about this. Is there a specific way that you have handled the negative comments, or something like a trick of yours, or a way to process the information? Or again, is it just like, I don't really care what these dudes are talking about. They don't even know me.
Yeah, I think when people, you know, comment negativity or stuff like that, it just makes no sense to me, because why would you like go out of your way to like comment, or, you know.
Kind of funny, right?
Yeah, it's just like, to me, like, I'm just like looking at it and I'm just like, and I put myself in those shoes. It's like, I would never do that. I don't think I've ever done that before.
They're struggling.
Yeah, like, I don't think I've ever done that in my life. And I just like look at them and was like, okay, like, y'all are bums, like, whatever.
I absolutely love that, bro. Oh man. Yeah, that's incredible. I figured that was gonna be a similar answer since we've been having this conversation. But yeah, I think for me, or I guess I'll ask the last thing. Is there a message you want to give to the people? And I'll tell you like my message that I've been having with this conversation. But the floor is yours, bro.
To me, a message, and this is mostly for like just younger LGBTQ athletes, not even in volleyball, but just like in sports in general, like, believe in yourself, that you are your biggest fan, and you have to be to get anywhere, in my opinion. Like, you have to understand like who you are and your identity, and really get in tune with that. And then once you do that, I mean, I think the like world's yours. And it took me many, many years to figure that out, like, of who I was, and kind of channel that into whatever facet I wanted to, which happened to just be volleyball.
Yeah, I love that, man. When I look at your play, as I'm like having this conversation with you right now, I think that you have an immense amount of power in the youth, which is a huge reason why I wanted to have this conversation, because I think it's really important for the younger generation. I don't really care about the older generation, to be honest with you, bro. Like, it doesn't really affect me. Like, why? Is because people are looking at you. I remember myself as a kid. I was looking up at people that are 30, right? Now I'm that guy, right? Same with you. Like, I was looking up at college athletes. Like, you are now the one, but you're not just a guy. Like, you're the guy, and everybody's looking at you. You like it, you don't like it, everyone's looking at you. And for me, it is a different level of responsibility, but something I love to see when I'm hearing you is just the authenticity and just the unshakable confidence that you have in yourself, even sitting in this seat right now, is the message for me, man. Because that is what can positively impact a young person's life. And that's why I do what I do. And maybe like you were saying, like, you don't have that deep of meaning. It will come to you at one point in your life. And I think you're gonna look back at these moments and you're gonna be like, damn, like, I'm very proud of myself. And I'm really happy about how everything turned out. It's, yeah, for me, really cool. And I'm super, super blessed to have had this conversation, bro. Because as I personally, this is my first time talking to Jordan. I've never talked to him outside of this interview.
Very true.
I shot a bullet in the dark to talk to him. I found the situation really fascinating, and it happened. I guess last question, because I keep saying last question, but whatever, it's my podcast, so I can do whatever. So obviously, our club, Mentor Volleyball Academy. Are there mentors that have been very crucial for you in your life, whether it be a mentor in the athletic space, a mentor that helped you navigate the LGBTQ community, a mentor that is helping you deal with the social media barrage that you have been hit with? Like, are there people that you have in your life? How does that work for you?
I would say there's about three.
Yeah.
There's Glenn Henry, who is my old post coach and who I coach with now.
Okay.
And yeah, him and I talk almost every day, and we just talk about like either just like what's going on in life, not just even volleyball related, but just kind of personal life and stuff like that. And so him and I, he just really understands the volley aspect of kind of life, and we'll talk after matches and stuff, and just like chit chat about it. So he really like helps me through that, and kind of with like that whole personal life and like kind of growing up throughout the ages is Joe. Rocha coaches at Rockstar. Yeah, him. Yeah. I've known Joe since I've been 12, and so he was a big influence and just support and love, and someone who I've kept in touch with and is one of my best friends, and kind of I look up to as just someone who's always been there for me, and it's just has been a constant in my life since I've started volleyball. And then the third person is just my mom. Like she's like amazing.
Yeah.
And like she's just. Obviously, moms are always there, and they do everything, usually for your kids and stuff. And yeah, like her and I just have a really good relationship.
What's the commonality between those three for you?
Those are people that I consider family. I am a believer that you can choose your family.
Yeah.
And yeah, so yeah, that's to me like those people are my family. They may not be all blood related.
Yeah.
But they are people who I consider family to me.
And you use like the word love, and I think it does boil down to, I was having this conversation with one of my players on my drive up, and we were talking about what makes a good coach, and he was telling me like, nah, it's like playing career, like you did X, Y, Z, like that's what gives you the right?
Yeah.
They don't get it, bro. You know why I don't get it? Because when you are talking to someone younger than you and they're looking at you like that, for me it boils down to love, bro. And like, do I care about this human being getting better? Literally have no idea what's going on in volleyball, and you get an incredible mentor help you guide through that because they genuinely care about you. When I hear about you talking about your mentors, it sounds like the love is real. Is that something that like perpetuates, you think? Or
yeah, I think it definitely does, especially knowing them. Like Glenn I've known since I've been about 11, Joe since 12, and obviously my mom forever. But it's like, building that relationship of 10 plus years now of kind of just like, even like, we're not in the same space, or, we haven't talked in, maybe a week or two, like there's still like, right when we come back with each other, it's like, haven't missed a beat.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I feel like, love is shown through actions and through, kind of not talk, or less talk, more action.
For
and
sure.
So for me, like they've always been there for me. At any time, like I can call them, like I talk to probably all three of them like daily. Like probably once, twice a day, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day, contingent on what's been going on.
And that doesn't require skill.
Yeah.
That just requires being there for somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I talked to you initially when we were gonna do this conversation. I want to try and give as much positive energy out from any situation, because I think that's the only energy that people feel and change behavior off of. So like I said, man, beyond blessed that you made time to talk to us. You are a idol for so many young kids. And I know it doesn't feel like that, or maybe it does feel like that, but I think it will change in your head next 2 years, 5 years. And yeah, man, I think it's gonna be really cool when you look back to see like what you've done, even though it's not volleyball, what we're talking about. At the end of the day, it's all the same shit.
Yeah, I think that's something too that I forgot to mention. When I started volleyball, when I was like 13 or 14, I remember telling my parents, I was telling them, I was like, you know, when I leave volleyball, whenever that time comes, I want to make sure that I have forever changed volleyball. And that is something that I think I can confidently say that I have. And it's just something that I remember telling myself back when I was like 14, when I was playing at Rockstar, the club I was playing at. I just remember thinking about it, and I was like, and I remember there was no one really like me, like in like our age group, or kind of like that I saw that was older than me, and I was just remember I was like, my goal is to like change volleyball or men's volleyball.
Wait, okay, bro. Wait. You're killing me, bro. What did that mean to you, young Jordan? What were you even saying?
No, I just remember like walking around club tournaments and just like looking around. I'm like it's just like boring. Like
These dudes suck.
Oh, I don't know if they suck, but it was just like
These dudes suck.
It was
bro.
just boring to me. Like I was just like walking around. I was like, okay, like no one's really like. And I remember like in 14, it's like people are coming to my court and watching matches and this and that, and it's like, it's that entertainment factor. Like I just remember I was like, even if it isn't like, you know, even if I'm not the best player in the world or the best player in the country, like I'm gonna somehow contribute. And if it's, you know, by bringing exposure or like, you know, the celebrations or the antics or the animations, like whatever it is, like, and I'm just happy that, you know, my skill, one, talks for itself, and then two, kind of just like everything else that like culminates from the skill and from the volleyball.
Man, manifestation is real as hell, man. I'm telling you, that is so fire. That's very, very cool. Like I said, I am very, very blessed to have had you on today. I hope that this conversation can give some positive energy and some information maybe that you wouldn't have access to help you become a better person. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is Becoming a Mentor with Gert Lisha. Talk soon.